Hey, I'm Warren Sprouse, and you are on the Bible Forum. It is a Sunday night here. It is July 16th, 2017, and we're going to look at life's unalterable realities. Advice from a person older than you. These are the comments and the explanations that address the silliness that is our touchy-feely, ultra-liberal, super understanding millennial generation, as well as those who either want to be like them or are trying to relive their rebellious youth through them. It's a series of obviously real and practical statements that are not obvious to most of our younger generation. Statement number one says, by the way, capitalism is not your enemy, it's your friend. Wealth is produced by capitalism, which in turn fuels the taxes that powers the nation. If you end capitalism, you end the incentive for people to become wealthy. And if you do, then the wealth would disappear. It's a simple 2 + 2 = 4 equation. If this is the kind of equality or fairness that you desire, congratulations on your room temperature IQ. Oh, did you know 50% of our population has an IQ less than 100? Now does it all start to make sense to you? Number two, money doesn't grow on trees. Your parents told you that. The social welfare net was never meant to be a multi-generational career opportunity. Poverty is an amazing motivator. And the reason older people have the work ethic they do is because for them it was either work or go hungry. Many legal immigrants from third world countries still understand this. They arrive often with little more than a suitcase in hand and spend the rest of their lives working 2 and 3 jobs at a time to prosper in this land of opportunity where prosperity is normal here. Watch and learn. Another truism, the freedoms you take for granted were paid for in blood. Young people, and not so many young people, think it's cool and trendy to spit on graves, desecrate flags, pretend the sacrifices of earlier generations have nothing to do with them. But those actions simply make you look even dumber. Multiple sexual partners doesn't make you empowered, it makes you stupid. I realize a lot of young people have grown up with the blessings of an intact 2-parent home. I've not grown up, without a 2-parent intact home, and that's not necessarily their fault, but try to grasp the concept. Sexual promiscuity leads to diseases, abortions, broken families, and heartaches. Committed monogamy, even if you learn later you don't like each other, committed monogamy does the opposite. It strengthens, it is healthier, it is better. Know also there are evil people in this world who want to kill you. These people are not interested in talking about their feelings. They just want to eliminate you in some creative or gruesome way. Pretending that evil doesn't exist just allows it to grow bigger. And it's only because brave men and women made a stand against these evil people that your little butts are safe enough to protest for open borders. Another truism. Your current freedom to protest, be jerks, demand entitlements, and other worthy pursuits are possible because of a handful of men over 200 years ago who put documents in place to ensure a posterity of freedom and governmental restraints in this nation. These men were flawed men, but they were brilliant. The fact that America still rocks despite whittling away at these documents as proof of their legacy. Don't think that you, with your obviously still developing brains, know more than they did and can improve upon their work. You can't. There are few people in our world who could, on any level. Another truism: you might think atheism is trendy, but it's not what this nation was built upon. America was built upon a Christian foundation and principles, which is why it has enjoyed the success that it has. For those who like to quote the incendiary, "America is not a Christian nation," from the Treaty of Tripoli, please read the history and logic behind that treaty. I dare you. The world does not revolve around your feelings. Really, it doesn't. You might feel like a different gender or a different species today, but nobody really cares. You might feel like the world should address you in a pronoun of choice, but we won't do it because we prefer to speak proper English. So suck it up, Buttercup. And also, higher education doesn't make you smarter. How long does it take you to figure that out? Somebody with a doctorate degree in social justice is way, way less smart than a plumber or a welder or a farmer, simply because that the social justice person has never operated in the real world and has no idea how economics, much less common sense, really works. And know this: nobody owes you a thing. Millionaires don't owe you their wealth. Farmers don't owe you their food. Owners of apartment buildings don't owe you a place to live. Car manufacturers don't owe you a vehicle. Colleges don't owe you an education. Fast food employers don't owe you $15 minimum wage. And unless you're under 18, your parents don't even owe you your current basement hangout. When you demand others give you things to which you feel entitled, you are in effect making slaves of them by forcing them to provide the fruits of their labor without choice. That's a stupid attitude. Along those lines, career goals should center on goods and services people want, not feelings that have been sanctified by government bureaucrats into law. If you get hostility from older generations who resent being forced to cater to your whims, it's because these older generations know a parasite when they see one. And oh, rights don't cost anyone anything. If you think you have a right to, I don't know, pick one: food, education, money, vehicle, housing, internet, smartphone, employment, then ask yourself whether that something will cost someone else time, labor, or money to provide it to you. If it does, hey sweetheart, it ain't a right. Whining doesn't make you a more attractive prospective employee. Nor does dressing inappropriate, cursing, piercing every orifice, lavishly tattooing yourself, or other personal expressions of your individuality. I would add my personal favorite: showing up late. You're not 10 minutes early, you're late. You came to work. Get there early enough to find out what it is that needs to be done today. What happened when you weren't there? What's the feel of what's going on? Watch and see the flow before you jump in. You just go, "Oh, I'm here." You don't work for me. I want an employee that comes caring for my business. You are free to do all these other things, to be all these other ways. But a business is free not to hire you. And my personal favorite, life isn't fair. People are born with handicaps. Some suffer accidents, some suffer with illnesses. The most admirable people are those who make lemonade out of their lemons. The worst thing the government can ever try to do is to make things fair, because in so doing it will make things drastically more unfair for everybody else. This is a list from older people who've been there and done that. It is not an exhaustive list. It barely skims the surface. Older people have a wealth of information they would love to share with the kids coming up. But the old cliche is still true. You can lead young people to wisdom, but you can't make them think.